Could have had a couple more. I was obviously pretty excited at the start there, pushing the front line, but it was nice to get those two under my belt and create a few more chances.
What were your thoughts when you were bowling there coming in? Were you nervous to start, or were you anxious, or just confident?
Oh, I think you're always going to have those natural sort of nerves running and bowling to those kind of players, but it comes back to that cliche, that process that you go through every time you're at the top of your mark, what kind of ball you're trying to bowl and committing to that.
What did you make of the England Harry Brook out there?
Yeah, I thought Harry Brook and Ollie Pope batted really well through the middle there. As that ball got a little bit softer, it got a little bit easier to bat. Yeah, those two boys batted really well. We gave them a few chances, but they capitalised and batted really well.
What did you make of the drop catches? Happens every so often, but just some fresh opportunities, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean that's cricket. That's going to happen. All we can ask as a bowling unit is that we create those chances, and another day they're all out. So and we're ahead of the game. But we come back tomorrow with that new ball, and hopefully we knock them off pretty quickly.
How do you attack that partnership that's currently building?
Yeah, well, I think that wicket out there's got enough bounce in it, and with that new ball as well, it'll nip a little bit sharper. So, I think it's really key that we're nice and accurate with that new ball and take the chances when they come.
I guess when you started, did it make it any easier settling in that you were sort of bowling first up to another guy making his debut from that?
Oh, not really. I was sort of only focusing on myself, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, all those guys are quality players, so I'm just going to go out there and try execute what I can and put my best foot forward.
All quality players, but if you had a wish list, your route for Duncan's bowling would be pretty high there.
Yeah, for sure. I was a little bit worried I'd bowled a no ball again, but no, it was nice to get him before lunch. Obviously a quality player, so good to get him early. I was probably just quite excited and running in quite hard, but yeah, I'm not sure if that's what that is, to be fair.
Awesome. All right.
Great.
Cool. Cheers, Raj. Thanks, everyone.
How did it feel to you walk out in the 71 for 4 and up against it a little bit, and you helped them finish the day pretty strong today?
Yeah, obviously very pleasing to put together a partnership with Harry Brook out there. I think they bowled really well early, some pretty good balls in there, and I think the way Ben Duckett played early on as well, it could have been worse too. So I think from where we are and to where we're finishing the day, the boys are really happy with sort of what's on the scoreboard, and yeah, it should be a good day tomorrow to hopefully push a button in the morning and put them under some pressure.
How hard do you feel you and Harry had to fight and scrap for those runs? Because it's not as though they were throwing you many freebies. There was still plenty of chances, ball doing a bit, and we had to really dig into them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think on a pitch like that, whenever there's pace in the wicket, and I think the guys were bowling at some pretty good pace too. I think it obviously provides us challenges as well, but I think it's just having a clarity of how you want to go about putting together an innings where I want to look to score. So I think it kind of it's quite a similar pitch to batting on somewhere like the Oval in terms of that bounce and carry. So I think for me it was just having that real clarity and where I wanted to put the bowler under pressure and where the main threats were as well. So I think that's kind of tried to keep it as simple as possible and go about my innings like that.
Any part of you that's cursing your luck a little bit? I think New Zealand dropped 6 catches today, and you go to an absolute whirlwind.
Yeah, I know. Brookie, as I was walking off, he actually came and apologised to me. I was wondering why he made a beeline. But no, I think it's just how the game goes. I think I was actually umpire's call LBW as well. So I think it kind of just goes in roundabouts. And another day, I mean, that was a great catch from Glenn. Fair play to him. So another day that goes for 4 and you're off and running and hopefully making a really big one. But yeah, it's funny how the game goes.
Vish, go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's pretty relaxed. I think he's very good in terms of he's just stays in his bar. He might hit a great shot and he's very just level about it. He kind of say shot boy and he's like, oh, cheers. So yeah, it's good fun, and I think the longer you bat together, you kind of just have a little joke in the middle. But I think he's good to watch at the other end, and yeah, he's yeah, just good. He stays in his bubble very much so. But yeah, good fun to bat with.
You've obviously done different roles. Three started Red Bull career, six. What was it like? I suppose the other part of the key difference between the two is it feels like today, for example, the situation was, staring you in the face.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference for me, I think if I was batting at three, I would have tried to play in exactly the same way as I did today. I think the biggest difference for me at three is you kind of set the tone a lot more. If you play well, you can put your team in a really strong position going forward, and that's also the fun thing sometimes about six as well. Is sometimes you might come in 350 for four, and it might be your job to really push the game forward. Or other times you might be trying to sort of rebuild something and not even thinking about how far behind you are, but just trying to build a partnership together and trying not to look too far ahead. But you can get your team out of a bit of a tricky situation. So I think both roles are good fun, and yeah, just slightly different. But I think in terms of the way I went and played today, it was probably exactly the same as I would have if I was at three.
We'll go Chris, Nick, Lawrence, and then finish with Hector.
Ollie, you got 4 runs today, you did the whole series in Pakistan. Just how kind of satisfying is it to make a big contribution today on that front?
Yeah, I think Pakistan was obviously, it wasn't an easy tour. Obviously missing out on that road in the first one obviously didn't set the tone too well for me. And then the pitches weren't easy to bat on as well, and I wasn't good enough in that series to find a way. So I think just for me it was really important just to draw a line under it. I didn't want to come into this series putting myself under too much pressure to make a big score early, because I think that's not always what works as cricketers. Almost if you want it too much, that can be your biggest downfall, I find, in a way. So I think I worked hard at my game before coming out here, did some good work back at the Oval. So I felt in a good place, and I knew if I can sort of get in the right headspace and really focus on how to bat on these wickets, then I can start the series strong. And fortunately I did today, and hopefully I can kick on. Yeah, I want to be number three. I want to keep trying to make it my own. I think I've done obviously my self-analysis. I've had too many low scores there, but I've also managed to put together some good knocks this year, batting at three, and it's a job that I want to do going forward. And I feel like my skill set is still developing, and I'm becoming a better player as we go along. So it's definitely a job that I want to keep doing, batting at number three.